occasion to dedicate our 2016 Sutton pumper tanker. I'm David Perazzi, Fire Chief of Maplewood Fire and Rescue. On behalf of the board and the administration of the company, I'd like to welcome you and thank you for joining us today. All of our guests that we have from our mutual aid companies, our county commissioners, township supervisors, all our guests that have done things and supported the company continually through the years, that we couldn't do what we do without all of you. It's a partnership between the community and the fire department that we serve you and you serve us, and it truly is a partnership. This truck commemorates the first brand new piece of fire apparatus that Maplewood Fire and Rescue's ever been able to acquire. That's a tremendous fact when you consider the company's over 50-year history, but the increasing cost of fire apparatus makes it difficult for fire departments that survive on donations and fund drives to be able to purchase new equipment. A lot of people think that their tax dollars pay for the fire department to survive. In some communities that may be true. In Lake Township, but unfortunately it is not. There is no dedicated tax that goes to the fire department. We do receive a donation, but there is no millage that goes to the fire department. This particular unit we were able to get because of an Assistance to Firefighters grant from the federal government. These grants are extremely difficult to get, and our lovely grant writer back there, Sandra, worked countless hours to make this happen. And everybody that's a member of this fire department, there's a lot of things that they look at in order to qualify for these grants. Your training, your record keeping, all of these ducks have to be in a row in order to qualify for a grant. Once you qualify, you've got to get sifted down through all the different layers to receive one. So in many respects, it's a lot like hitting the lottery, because there's thousands of fire departments all across the country that are vying for these grants. And to be able to get one, we've been fortunate to get 2 different grants. Last year we got a grant for turnout gear and breathing apparatus. And that marked the first time since the company's inception that we were able to have all new breathing apparatus and all new turnout gear exactly the same. So I'd really like to give Sandy a round of applause for what she's done. This truck is $450,000. That's a lot of spaghetti dinners. That's a lot of fund drives, things that you would have to work hard, and you could never do it. There's no way possible that a fire department like Maplewood or any one of the fire departments in this area could put money aside every year and say to yourself, every 10 years we're going to buy a new truck or something like that. It just doesn't happen. So that's why we wanted to gather here today, just what this means and what it's meant to our community to be able to serve. I'd like to ask our county commissioners who joined us here today if they would come up and say a few words for us. Got Jonathan Fritz and Wendell Kay.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jonathan Fritz. Very, very proud to be here. Can everybody hear me all right?
Yep.
All right. Well, we got a good crowd gathered. You know, I know we were just talking about grants, and it hits home with us at the county. We don't like to saddle the taxpayer with any additional cost, so we find ourselves very frequently on the grant treadmill. And what a tedious and frustrating process that is. So, Sandy, I just want to mention what you've been able to pull off and help to acquire here with this. That's a big, big deal. So kudos, tip of the hat to you. Awesome job. And I guess I'll kind of transition into a little different topic or thought here. I'm a football dad, and I'm a football coach. I'm also a wrestling dad and a wrestling coach in softball and baseball even. I'm just in that chapter of my life. Love to hunt and fish. And where I'm going with this thought is, I spend my life in a lot of different universes. The football family, the wrestling family, the baseball, the softball, the hunting club. And there is no collection of people, no cause that is as purpose-focused, as passionate, or as galvanized as our volunteer firefighters. It is absolutely awesome what our fire departments are able to achieve and how they put their life and their time and their skill on the line to save life and limb and property for those of us. So just very, very deeply appreciative. We've done the math, haven't we, Wendell? Yes. That if we had to saddle the taxpayers with the cost of fire protection services, and folks, it's very, very overwhelming what those numbers look like. So you guys are doing it. We get that. You're in the trenches, and just deeply grateful. And today is a true celebration. I come from a family of water well drillers, and we have some water trucks and some drilling rigs that run on the same chassis, and I grew up around big machinery, and I understand the complexity and the power and the awesomeness that sets right here behind me. So it's a big deal. I'm very, very proud of all you guys, and I'm just honored to be able to be your commissioner and be part of an awesome, awesome region and an awesome, awesome community. So I'm going to stand down with that, and I'm going to hand off the mic to a very good friend, an awesome co-worker, the guy that I'm going to miss an awful lot come next year, Commissioner Wendell Keck.
And just so we're all clear on that, I'm not going anywhere, but John is. We have an election in November. I don't think it's any big secret. There's one name on the ballot for a state representative from at least part of Wayne County, and that individual is John Fritz. So John is going to be moving on to Harrisburg. Where I know he will continue to advocate for all of you and all of us, just as he has done for the last 5 years as a county commissioner. Now, those of you who know us know that the county commissioners here work very closely together. And there are actually 3 of us, aren't there? Well, the third member of the triumvirate, our chairman, Brian Smith, is not with us here today, and he wanted us to express to you his regret for not being here, but he has a pretty good excuse. Next Saturday, they're having a wedding up on the Smith farm. One of the boys, Wyman's wedding, and Brian and his whole family and their friends and probably everybody else they know are helping to prepare the site up there. So he's very heavily involved with that today, or one of the events revolving around the, 6 grandchildren that were born to the family this year. So
in 5 months, right?
Within 5 months. So the Smiths have been very busy, and Brian does send along his best regards. We do want to thank the chief here today and the members for inviting us to be a small part of your celebration. And it is, in fact, a celebration, isn't it? We now have a piece of apparatus that is going to help you fulfill your function. We often say as county commissioners that you can look up a definition in the law books as to what the commissioners are to do. And it has to do with fiscal affairs, budgets, and those sorts of things. But we really think that our job is to look after the health, safety, and welfare of the people that live in Wayne County and the people that visit here. And there's nobody who has a more direct effect on that than you folks. And as John says, we get it, we understand that from a financial standpoint, but even more so from a human perspective. We know the sacrifices that you all have to make on a daily basis to do the jobs that you do. So I hope you'll give yourselves a round of applause right now. Finally, I want to mention to you that we're very excited that the piece of apparatus behind us right now is from the Sutphin Corporation. Some of you may know that Sutphin is a company that our economic development arm, WEDCO, as well as your county commissioners, have convinced to relocate their eastern operation from New York State right here into Wayne County in the Sterling Business and Technology Park. And so we are very excited that you were able to do business with them. They're a fine organization. They're a family company that I believe goes back 5 generations now, 125 years or so. So it's a very exciting prospect for all of us to have them right here. And I hope that means that if you have any service issues, you'll know exactly where to find them. So we're active. We're always looking for opportunities, as John said, with grants. Right now we're pursuing grants for broadband, which will affect hopefully the entire southern part of the county, as well as a new food pantry to be located in Clear Township. We're hoping to be successful for those grants. So that's a little update as to what we're doing. We know what you guys are up to because we meet with your companies on a regular basis through the County Fire Association. We have a wonderful working relationship and have really come to respect and understand each other. So we want to wish you all the best. Certainly good luck with your new operation here, but also as we go forward with working together to make this county that we live in, Wayne County, the best possible place for all of us to be. So thank you very much, and good luck in the future.
At this time, I'd like to ask Stan Pratt to come up. Stan was our salesman on this deal, and just made it a pleasure to work with him on it. I'd like him to say a few words.
Thanks, Dave. First, I feel a little overdressed. I've seen all these photographs of how well this organization dresses at some of their events, and I thought that, well, perhaps I should come out here, and I may be representing Honesdale Fire Department as well as Sutphen, but I ought to at least be dressed the way they are. They come out in their all t-shirts. Now, I do see, and I'm thrilled to see Honesdale's Chief, Steve Bates, among the group here today. I passed the torch on to Steve 5 years ago? Yes, sir. Something like that. He's done an outstanding job coming along, so I'm glad he made it out here today. I chose to wear this uniform in part to represent Honesdale Fire Department, and in part too because I met Dave a number of years ago as a member of the fire service. I think probably was filling air cylinders for him, but we've had a lot of involvement over the years. And then my company, Protection Engine Company number 3 in Honesdale, went looking for a new fire truck, and after looking at a number of them, they managed to convince our truck committee, the largest part of it was 100% Pierce. They managed to convince us that we should change from Pierce to Sutphen. And we're not sorry that we did. And then a short time after that, the plant manager from over there at Sutphen East, Darrell Riney, asked me if I wouldn't sell for him. And I said, Darrell, you know I wanted to put another Pierce in this house after 36 years with Pierce. He said, yes, but I think I convinced you that it should be a Sutphen. And he was right, he did. I went to work for him, and I've met a number of great people in great fire departments since that time. This one is certainly among the tops of that list. I'm very impressed with the way they work, the way they tried to get a piece of fire apparatus which they could do more with less. And the less, well, they don't suffer from less as much as some of us do. The less is less people. Your community is, I think, among the few who have an awful lot of young people coming forward in the fire department. And for that, you owe thanks to that to your chief and your other officers for making it such a way, and the people in the community who are willing to step forward and do that service. But it was indeed a pleasure working with these fine men and helping them to come out with this apparatus. Now, I worked really as just a facilitator. They told me what they wanted, and I helped put it together and coordinate it back and forth with Sutphen. Now, as far as Sutphen is concerned, county commissioners let you all know, if you didn't already, that there is a plant coming just down the road from where you are. I was in that plant 2 weeks ago and went through it. Plans now are to start opening it up in December, and I think they're going to make that. There is going to be a big grand opening in the spring, which your organization will certainly play a key part in. And for that, we thank you. Now, 2 weeks ago, I was in Columbus, Ohio, and prior to my return here, Drew and Dan and Julie Sutphen all told me to express their thanks to this group here today. Thank them for trusting Sutphen with their next fire apparatus, and we wish them well with it, and let you all know that if there's anything you need in the line of support at any time, you need only call the plant, talk to Darrell, or if you have problems there, you can pick up the phone. And I believe that it's the only multi-generational fire apparatus manufacturer in the country today where I can pick up the phone in the middle of the night and get a hold of someone whose last name is Sutphen if there's a problem. And they are there, glad to help. That's the kind of public community service and service to their fire companies that they want to pass along. And from them, from me, and from all those people at East where this was built, thank you very much. The best of luck and congratulations for a fine piece of equipment to a fine fire department. Thank you.